Jyoti Ma, Auntie Pooki Lee, Chief Dwaine Perry of the Ramapough Lunaape peoples, we give you the deepest gratitude for your presence here with us.
Wanabiju Niki Kiai Benmi Bakuma Kwa Netelamapo Wawashishi Odui Demiwa Ramapough Muncie. I'm Chief Perry of the Ramapough Muncie, the original people in the Northeast. I'd like to share sort of a bit of history before we get to the really wonderful, very nearly unbelievable blessings that this gathering and all of the people here has. Okay, thank you. And you get 2 microphones. So, alrighty. In the very beginning and the essence of this country, George Washington and the boys were basically rebels, but they share the exact same philosophy that we had, that all human beings have dignity, respect, and should be caring and working amongst each other. Well, the thing is, where we live in the East, the Ramapough live in the Ramapough Pass. The Ramapough Pass is essentially not only a natural redoubt, it's the back way into the New England colonies. So without having access to the New England colonies, it made it literally impossible for the British to win the American Revolution, because the only way they could supply their people was either off of the Atlantic or march them down through Canada. So it eliminated any strategic and/or military advantage. Obviously, in the end, you all know they won. So the very first thing that George Washington did and the boys was to double-cross the Ramapoughs and enslave us. My ancestors were made the very first made slaves in this country. And we're still shaking off that towards quiet genocide. But the wonderful and beautiful message that come out of that is, you all may well know, and I know some of you were at Sedona, some have been in other ceremonies in other places. We just shared the equinox, and on that equinox we also shared in the morning. We have a place called the Tahita Way, the gate that opens. The Tahita Way is the gate that opens. It's actually a portal, a power spot. And for the last 300 years, we have not really had access to it. Initially, it was a place where our ancestors went. When I was a child, I would say, well, where are the ladies going? And they would basically say, they're doing Indian stuff. That was the end of it, because obviously you don't go to your elders and start picking out about what are you trying to do or what are you guys doing. So that stayed there. And then over time, they started burning crosses at it. And you could see this cross for probably 30, 35 miles. And of course, then nobody went back up there. And then a little more recent history, it became a wonderful place to paint graffiti and break beer bottles. So apparently it became beer bottle heaven before we were able to recoup it. But on the 28th of this month, this last week, the state of New York and the Rockland County returned the Tahita Way to the Ramapough people so we can once again, absolutely. So the really wonderful thing about that, leading up to that, as we were going forward, some of you may know who the Mamos are. The Mamos live in the mountains in Colombia. And it was quite interesting. We were sort of sitting around one day, and the folks showed up looking like Discovery Channel with a couple of interpreters, and we're in a meeting going, hi, how are you doing? Welcome to the land. Their elders sent them here to tell us it was time to do what we needed to do to re-energize the gate, the Tahita Way, and to make a way so that the sacred people could return to this earth. So they didn't call it a mountain, they called it a sacred temple. They didn't call it anything, they called it she. It was a lady, a sacred temple to return healing to the earth. So since then, we've been working diligently to make that happen. As I said, it was returned. And we're now inviting each and every one of you, if you're lucky, if you're in New York area, that we can certainly take you by and share some prayers and lift up. And I also would like to mention that I think what's interesting is that it is connected to a like spot in the Black Hills, and also I believe in San Francisco Peak and a few other places. And thankfully, just recently, thanks to Ben and Joan and et cetera, we found that the Aborigines in Australia have a place, although it has native names. It's also called Split Rock, for those who've come before and for those who are yet to come. So that brings us to today, and I would like to say a few words. Also, this past week, we were blessed by meeting with some folks in Central Park in New York to talk about and blessing the water. And as some of you may know, 97.5% of the water on the earth is salt water. And it's really it's a finite number. No matter what happens, the amount of water stays the same. It may be returned by a puppy's breath or a melting of an ice cap, but the amount of salt water on this planet, 97.5%, remains the same. However, 2.5% of that water is fresh water. And it's really extremely, very profound. Each of you should really, if you don't know this is really something to ponder. This is beyond, it's just extremely profound. I want to say beyond the sacred, but we know nothing is beyond the sacred. But the 2.5% of fresh water on the earth is not only replenished, it's the only water that grows. And how it grows is the water that ran and gave life to the first woman on the planet runs through each and every woman on the planet today. That's astonishing. And that's the water that not only grows life, it grows the rest of the planet. So to each and every one of you and all of your moms, ladies, and cousins, I give thanks. And I'd like to offer a small prayer to everybody. Wanabiju, Nkomazaki. We ask for your mercy and your pity, your kindness, your generosity. We ask as we go forward, each and every one of us may know your way, that we may know and share in kindness, that we may have the courage to lift up all that we may touch. In a real, real, real good way, we ask that you may remember us in your dreams, that we all may live in your love and in your light. Anishi, 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 Anishi. Oh, thank you.
And welcome. Welcome, beloved family. So we've been gathering together in the Ethernet. And we know each other. We know each other. We know the aloha that each one of us carries. We felt it come right through our computer screens and touch us. And so here, I want you to look. Take a look to the left. Take a look to the right. See the beloved community that's been building and emerging and growing during this time of a pandemic. They could not keep us separated. We could only grow stronger. And our love has grown so strong that right now here in this very room, we are activating not only the entire planet, but the infinite cosmos as well. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Yes! Yes! Our hearts singing the song of love. Our souls deeply connected to one another, remembering who we are in this holy moment of the divine. And I want you to know that as we gather here in this beautiful beloved circle, There are thousands of circles all over the world with the same exact intention of this circle, but it's being spoken in many different languages. And it's happening because we're just one of the circles, of the many circles that are arising in this prophecy moment. And so know that even though we are here in this circle, we are multiplied thousands of times. Isn't that a glorious idea? That's just a magnificent knowing. Because love, compassion, healing wins. No matter what it looks like, beloveds, no matter what they say out there, don't you believe them. Because they're lying to you, I promise you. As barefooted as I am in this moment right now, I promise you, love wins, and we are all a part of that winning. We are calling it forward right now. And so it is my sacred honor to bow before each one of you and to say thank you for your service. Not only to humanity, but into the rising of us all. Can you feel the deliciousness of that? So we're so happy that you're here with us. We're so happy to celebrate with you. This is just the beginning of a magnificent day. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Pooki Lee, or that's at least what they call me. I'm really not that. I'm something else, but that's for another time. And so I would love to bring it over to my beautiful, beloved Jyoti Ma. Yes, thank you.
Oh, the energy is just buzzing in this room, and I can feel it connecting throughout our web of life that's spreading everywhere and connecting all of us in this moment of actualizing something we've been working for generations and generations. So I kneel here before you, Great Mother, as you birth us. I call upon the Mother, Father, God to dance us through the doorway into the rising of the earth, the new dawn that is already living inside of each and every one of us. I give thanks to you, Creator, for this glorious moment of celebration of life. For we're not going to get caught in that which is falling down. We are shouting out and singing loudly that which is here, that which is breaking through into a new dawn, a new day, a new cycle for this Mother Earth as she ascends into the heart and opens all of ours. Oh, Mother, Father, God, help us cultivate our tolerance, unite our hearts and still our minds so that we might touch this Mother Earth with great reverence. For as the elders have just shared with us, we are returning to the original time of this creation. We are led there by the instruction carried by the original peoples around this planet, for they have cared for the root of life since its beginning. And they are here with their courage and their clarity and their strength of heart to help guide us in the tapestry weaving that each of us is participating in, the tapestry that will reveal this new dawn. And I give you great thanks as a grandma here for the ancestors that called us into this moment and for the children and generations coming behind us that are encouraging this moment and inspiring this moment, for their hearts are clear and their minds are steady and they're focused, and determination is guiding our steps today. Thank you for the great celebration of all that is, all that will be. For that which was, that which will be, and that which is are in this very present moment informing us, instructing us, growing us, guiding us, and opening the way. The dream is awake, and we are waking in it. And for this, I give great thanks. I give great thanks. I give great thanks. Let it begin. Ahu.